everyone, I am Corinne, the Chaotic Good Paladin, and welcome back to my TBR game for November of 2023. If you are new to my channel and this is the first video of mine you are seeing, I will leave a playlist up above in the info card. Tap the screen, there should be an eye icon. If you click on that eye icon, you'll be taken to a playlist called From Tarot to TBR Games, and you can see all the TBR games I've tried since my time on book 2. As you may have noticed, I've not uploaded a video in like 4 months, and not uploaded a TBR video in longer than that. I've had a lot of stuff happening in my life. So if this is your first TBR video of mine you are seeing, I will have the rules and everything in the description box below. But here on my channel, we play the Lord of the Rings adventure board game to choose my TBR for the month. I will also leave all inspirations for my game down below in the description. I'm instituting a new rule. I've noticed that when I film these videos, I take a really long time because I'll just keep landing on plain brown spots over and over again until I get to like a spot that's, you know, I would like to land on. So I'm going to try instituting a new rule for myself. I don't know if it's going to stick around. It's going to happen for this video, but I don't know if it'll stick around for permanently, or if after this video ends I'm like, yeah, that was a stupid rule. It didn't do what it was supposed to do. But if I land on 3 plain brown spots in a row, I have to, the next book I choose for that upcoming prompt has to be over 400 pages long. If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry, you will in a minute. Before I show you guys what I'm reading this month, I want to show you guys what I read in October. So October was a really bad reading month for me. I was so excited to get back into the reading game. I had a pretty bad reading month in September already. And so in October, I was like, oh my god, I'm going to get back in the reading game. I'm going to be reading all the books this month. And then my dog, trigger warning here for anybody who's an animal lover. I'm going to be talking briefly about animal death. So if you don't want to hear about animal death, skip to this timestamp and you should be able to not hear about animal death. But my dog came down with a very aggressive form of cancer. It was very sudden. She was a very healthy dog. She was not a breed that is susceptible to cancer. She was also very young and didn't have any risk factors, but she ended up passing away from cancer, and it really affected me a lot because she was my baby, and I'm still upset about it. I'm about to start crying, so I'm going to stop talking about it now. But because of that, I was grieving a lot for my dog and only read 3 books in October. I read Holding Up the Universe by Jennifer Neven. This is a YA contemporary about a black boy with prosopagnosia, which is facial blindness syndrome, which I also have, and a fat girl being raised by a single father. And they become friends, and the girl helps him discover that he has prosopagnosia, essentially. Very, very good. I gave it 4.5 stars. I also read in October The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. And then I also read in October Heartstopper by Alice Oseman. In November, I will be doing 3 readathons. My readathons I'll be doing is Buzzwordathon. It is hosted by Books and Lala. I will leave all readathons in the description box below. It is basically a year-long readathon where every month she gives us a prompt, and the prompt is that there's a specific word or phrase that has to be in the title of a book that we read. This month, the word or phrase is good. For this Buzzwordathon prompt, I'm going to try and find some way to put The School for Good and Evil on my TBR. I'm really excited to read it. I used to teach middle school, and one of my 8th graders kept trying to make me read it, so I'm finally going to read it. Alex, if you're watching this by any chance. Another readathon I'll be doing this month that is also a year-long readathon is the Adventures in Aldea, part of the Magical Readathon hosted by G over at Book Roast. This is another year-long readathon where she gives us 1 prompt every month, and we read basically 1 book per month. Technically, I didn't read anything for the Adventures in Aldea prompt for last month. However, I'm going to go with the map route because I am very much anticipating that at some point during this TBR game, I'll end up picking a fantasy book, and fantasy books usually have maps in them. So I'm going to go with the map route. That means that this month, The prompt for me is a book at risk of an unhaul. I also will be participating in Thankful-a-thon this month, which is basically a readathon about being thankful. So you get a bingo card and you basically try and fill out that bingo card. So throughout this TBR game, I'll be trying to fill out prompts from that bingo card. And some of the prompts aren't even reading books. They're like bake something or spend time outside or like activities that accompany reading. Because it's been so long since I did a TBR video, I don't remember what prompt came up last time or anything. So I'm just gonna choose out prompts really quickly. All right, so here are all of our prompts. We've got a pretty good spread. Let's go ahead and get started with roll number 1. Okay, so since it has been so long since I played this game last time, I didn't remember where Legolas was or where he'd stopped or anything. So I just used a random number generator and did a number 1 to 12, and then that was the board that he started on. So we're starting on Minas Tirith. All right, roll number 1. A 12. That's a big number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, roll number 1 of the game is purple, which means that it's my choice. I get to choose anything. And I'm going to do the smart thing and choose out The School for Good and Evil by Soman Chainani, which is the book I'm using to count for my Buzzwordathon prompt this month. I am super excited. I'm pretty sure everyone else knows what this book is about. I know it's like a fairy tale parody sort of thing. One of those like self-referential fairy tales. I imagine it's going to be Shrek, but a little bit darker. This year, best friends Sophie and Agatha are about to discover where all the lost children go. The fabled School for Good and Evil, where ordinary boys and girls are trained to be fairy tale heroes and villains. As the most beautiful girl in Gavaldon, Sophie has dreamed of being kidnapped into an enchanted world her whole life. With her pink dresses, glass slippers, and devotion to good deeds, she knows she'll earn top marks at the School for Good and graduate a storybook princess. Meanwhile, Agatha, with her shapeless black frocks, wicked pet cat, and dislike of nearly everyone, seems a natural fit for the School for Evil. But when the two girls are swept into the endless woods, they find their fortunes reversed, and they'll quickly find that the only way out of a fairy tale is to live through it. So, pretty excited. All right, let's switch out the prompt for Corinne choice. We'll get this one. 22 bookish challenges. All right, here we go with roll number 2. Roll number 2, and it's an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Red dot. Roll number 2 gave us box of reading. Here she is. I have not updated this box in forever. I have little slips of paper in here with the titles of the books on my physical TBR. Let's go ahead and draw out one. We'll pick this one. 1, 2, 3, go. And the box gives us From Little Tokyo with Love. From Little Tokyo with Love by Sarah Kuhn. This is a YA contemporary. A very long time ago, I read Sarah Kuhn's debut novel, I Love You So Mochi, which I gave 4 stars. I enjoyed very much. And then I decided to pick up more books by her. This one is a YA contemporary set in Los Angeles, I believe, in Little Tokyo. It's about a Japanese-American girl who becomes friends with a cute actor and then starts falling in love with him, and they explore Little Tokyo together. And it just looks so cute and cozy. It's going to be 5 stars. I know it. I loved Sarah Kuhn's writing style, and I Love You So Mochi. So this one's going to also be super duper cute too. So excited the box gave it to us. It has been on my shelves a while too, so very glad to finally get to it. Let's change out the prompt for box of reading, which is kind of sad because I do love the box. And let's pick out 5+ word title. Roll number 3. 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. For 5+ word title, I actually went ahead and chose a bit of a smaller one. This is by an author I really like, and his next book is coming out in November, and it's a sequel to this one that I haven't read yet, so I need to get reading. The one that I am choosing is The Fork, the Witch, and the Worm, Tales from Alagasia. Christopher Paolini is releasing the book Murtagh next month, and I don't remember if it's a direct sequel to The Inheritance Cycle, or if it's I think it's a direct sequel to The Inheritance Cycle, so I need to read this one first. I need to get reading this one. I don't know how I haven't gotten around to reading this one yet. How the heck? The Inheritance Cycle is one of my favorite series of all time. I loved it to bits. I've read every single book in that series multiple times. I can quote direct lines from the books. I just love everything about the series. And I don't know why I haven't read this one yet. This one is a collection of, I think, 3 short stories that take place like kind of in the aftermath of the final book of that cycle. So excited to read it. There's 3 stories apparently, one having to do with a fork, one having to do with a witch, which I think is Angela, the herbalist, and one having to do with a worm, which I have no idea what the worm refers to. All right, let's change out the prompt for 5+ word title. The same author as another book on this TBR. This one's new. Roll number 4, there you go. A 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Red Fiery Spot. The next book in our game is to choose a book that's part of a series, and this is a no-brainer for me. I read book 1 a long time ago and gave it 4 stars, really liked it. And then I was like, I should continue the rest of the series. And then I found these at the used bookstore. I found the Waterstones exclusive edition with the sprayed edges, books 1 and 2. They had book 3, but only in like the regular hardcover version. And I was like, well, I have to get books 1 and 2 with the sprayed edges. And if I'm getting books 1 and 2, I want to get book 3. And I can always just find the sprayed edges version later of book 3. So for this prompt, I'll be choosing Frostheart by Jamie Littler, which is technically a reread. But I haven't read it in so long, I've kind of forgotten what's happened, which is why I wanted to reread book 1. I have that tendency to reread book 1 of the series before continuing on with the rest of the series. I'm going to try and fit books 2 and 3 on this TBR somewhere because I think it'd be really fun to read the entire series in 1 month. Frostheart is a middle grade fantasy adventure about a boy who has forbidden song magic, I think. It's been a while since I read it. And then he goes on a ship of some kind. I don't remember. And it's like, there's like these monsters out in the snow and it's so cool. And I just love this book so much. It was so much fun the first time. I've been so excited to continue the series. So I'm going to read this one, and I'm actually going to try and put these next two books on this TBR sometime. Changing out the prompt for part of a series, let's pick this one. An imaginary creature on the cover, so like a dragon or a mermaid. Okay, roll number 5. Here we go. And it's a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a plain brown spot. That's our first plain brown spot of this roll. Another 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Brown square. The next prompt in our game is to choose a 5-star prediction. So we are choosing out In Deeper Waters by F.T. Lukens. I've seen really great things about this book and about F.T. Lukens' writing. All I know about it is gay pirates. In October, I wanted to try reading this one. I'm going to try and read this one this month now. I know it's about a prince who has forbidden magic, and he goes on his coming-of-age tour around his kingdom, and he meets a strange boy, and then the strange boy vanishes all of a sudden. He jumped overboard. My theory is that this boy is like a mermaid or something and can transform into a human, but I feel like I could still enjoy it. Okay, we're going to change out the prompt for the brown square spot. Let's choose Magical Readathon. Roll number 6. And it's a 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Plain brown spot number 1. A 6. Going to roll number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, if we land another plain brown spot, then the book we choose next has to be over 400 pages. Rolling one more time. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so the next book I choose has to be over 400 pages. Whatever prompt comes up next. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The next prompt is to choose a book for Magical Readathon. For the Adventures in Aldea prompt this month, it is A Book at Risk of an Unhaul. I had 2 very obvious choices for this prompt, and I had some trouble deciding. But I think I finally picked out Mage the Guardian's Oath by S.A. Edwards. This is a book I've had forever. I used to be in a critique group with this author, so I wanted to buy her book and support her. I mentioned it to my dad, one year for Christmas. He was like, what do you want for Christmas? And I'm like, I really have been eyeing this book lately, and he bought it for me. A long time ago, I gave it a try, and I got to chapter 5 or 6, and I just really wasn't enjoying myself. but I felt so bad because this author was one of my acquaintances, so I was like, I want to give it another try. I don't want to give up on this one yet, so I'm going to give it another try. Because we landed on 3 plain brown spots in a row, we have to choose a book over 400 pages, and this one is 411 pages, so I feel like it fits. Since it's been like 4 or 5 years since I first bought this book and gave it a try, I have seriously been considering, like, maybe I should just not try it after all and just get rid of it after all. So this definitely counts for the Magical Readathon prompt for a book at risk of an unhaul. It's about a girl who is 18 years old who lives in a village, and she is trapped in this village, and then one day she manages to escape, and then an ancient sinister plot emerges, and then she's been killed 6 times. Yada yada yada, typical fantasy novel. Chosen one must escape from constrictive society sort of thing. I don't know. It sounds kind of interesting. I'm still kind of interested in reading it, which is why I haven't immediately gotten rid of it. So I'm going to give it a try. Let's go ahead and change out the prompt for whatever spot we just landed on. Random cloud card. Number 7. 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, it's plain brown spot number 1. 11. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I was thinking we'd land on a green flower spot. We don't ever get those. But it's another red dot. Alright, I was hoping this prompt would come up this game because now I can choose Frost Heart Book 2, which I already showed you guys earlier, so you guys kind of already know what this book is. Very excited. Look at those pretty sprayed edges. I'm a sucker for sprayed edges on books. When I publish a book, I want it to have sprayed edges. I have no idea what this book is about. One thing that kind of disappointed me was that in book 1, the main character, Ash, I did not remember him, had made like such a big deal about like wanting to know who his parents were and stuff. So it seemed like that was going to be like the resolution to the book, is knowing who his parents were. But we still didn't learn who the parents were. So I think that was one thing I didn't like about that book. But he's still looking for his parents in this book. So let's see if he finds his parents finally. All right, we got to change out the prompt for red dot. A standalone. I think that's a new prompt. Final roll of the game. 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We get to roll again. 2 more times though, and the book has to be over 400 pages. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Random page number. The final prompt in our game is random page number. So here I use a random number generator. So we're doing minimum 100, maximum 800. I think that's 800, I think, is the largest book I currently have on my TBR. 100, I think, is the smallest one. So it's going to generate a number for us anywhere between 100 and 800. And the closest number to it is the length of the book. So I'll show you in a minute. So let's generate. 322. That's not too bad. So here are all the books that Goodreads said were closest to 322. So how I'm going to choose is I'm actually going to look at the physical book and see which one is closest to 322. Candidate number 1, Foolish Hearts by Emma Mills. Oh, it's not even 320 pages. It's 312 pages. The final page ends at 312. Okay, candidate number 2, Here There Be Dragons by James A. Owens. Would you look at that? The final page is 324. 324, so this one is one contender. Candidate number 3, The Pirate Wars by Peter Earle. Oh, it's not even close. It's only 304 pages. Candidate number 4, Angel and Bavar by Amy Wilson. 305, not even close. Final candidate, The Editor by Stephen Rowley. It's 308. The closest book we got to 322 pages is Here There Be Dragons by James A. Owen, which is 324 pages long. So that's the closest we can find. This is a fantasy series, if it wasn't already obvious. I think it's an adult fantasy. I just picked it up at the thrift store and I was like, it's about dragons and it's like $2. I'll buy it. So I have no idea what it's about. An unusual murder brings together 3 strangers, John, Jack, and Charles, on a rainy night in London during the First World War. An eccentric little man called Bert tells them that they are now the caretakers of the Imaginarium Geographica, an atlas of all the lands that have ever existed in myth and legend, fable, and fairy tale. These lands, Bert claims, can be traveled to in his ship, the Indigo Dragon, one of only 7 vessels that is able to cross the frontier between worlds into the archipelago of dreams. Pursued by strange and terrifying creatures, the companions flee London aboard the dragon ship. Traveling to the very realm of the imagination itself, they must learn to overcome their fears and trust in one another if they are to defeat the dark forces that threaten the destiny of 2 worlds. And in the process, they will share a great adventure filled with clues that lead readers to the surprise revelation of the legendary storytellers these men will one day become. An extraordinary journey of myth, magic, and mystery, Here There Be Dragons introduces James A. Owen as a formidable new talent. So apparently it's his debut novel, and it's about dragons, and it's about a ship, and it's hitting all the right buttons for me. I'm very excited about this one. I have no idea what it's about other than what I just read you, but I'm very excited. High expectations for it. I think I'm going to love it. I have good feelings about this one. Okay, so here is my stack of books. So we have School for Good and Evil, Corinne Choice, also for the Buzzwordathon. From Little Tokyo with Love for Box of Reading. The Fork, the Witch, and the Worm for a book with 5+ words in the title. Frostheart for a book that's part of a series. In Deeper Waters, a 5-star prediction. Maids, the Guardian's Oath, a book, Magical Readathon, a book at risk of an unhaul. Frostheart, a book by the same author as another book in this TBR. And Here There Be Dragons, a random page number. Pretty good stack, I'd say. I had a lot of fun playing this game this month. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Corinne, also known as the Chaotic Good Paladin, and I make videos talking about the books you should be reading, so you don't have to spend hours scouring the New York Times or Goodreads bestseller list to find the next book you want to read. Make sure to like this video and hit that red subscribe button so you don't miss any of my new uploads. I'm going to make 2024 the year of frequent and consistent uploads. Also, make sure to leave me a comment down below telling me if you'll be participating in Buzzwordathon, Magical Readathon, Adventures in Alia, or Thankfulathon. And if so, what books are you reading for it? And what are you going to do for Thankfulathon? Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see all of you in my next quest. Bye!